Welcome back to video 2, Cultivating Calm. We're obviously going to talk about cultivating some calm in your life, in your being, in your energy in this video. It's basically number 1 for intuition. It's how you're going to hear the messages. It's how you're going to allow yourself to receive them. So what I really want to get into is how do we cultivate calm without hours of meditation? Because like we've already spoken about, these are generally what is surrounding intuition, meditating, connecting to the guides, connecting outwards out of the body, and intentional practices to expand and do all these things. And I want to bring it back to just the very basics. So the number 1 easiest and most overlooked tool is your breath. Now, I'm not talking about crazy breath work, the holotropic sort of thing. I'm not talking about a practice in that sense where you're sitting and breathing and breathing and breathing and breathing. I'm talking about your breath throughout the day. This is going to be your number 1 for centering, for connecting, for clearing the mind, for shifting energy, for everything. Breath is number 1. This is really what I want you to think about day in and day out. As you go about your day, check in with how am I breathing? What's my breath doing? When you're having those moments when you realize your energy is shifting and going a bit crazy, stop and take 1, 2, 3 deep breaths. Sometimes one's enough to shift it. Sometimes you need to do a couple. I'm literally just talking about, you don't even need to, everyone does hand on heart. Sometimes it helps people to visualize where they're breathing into deeply. Sometimes you can put your hand on your stomach just to help with that visualization, to direct the breath right down, because a lot of us are shallow breathing, and trust me, I know for years I breathed like that. I couldn't actually even really breathe out of my nose. It took so much practice. So what I really want you to do is to just practice a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Is really helpful to just feel it, let it all out, feel the energy shift, and just make the noise, do whatever, depending on what you are. Like if you're sitting in your car and you need to take a second, then you can just do a big sigh and let it all out. Breathe, center, come back. If you're with people, just one really good breath can be amazing. If someone's triggering you, if you're feeling yourself get a little bit worked up, if you're just feeling all over the shop, you're not feeling connected in, you're just feeling then it can be enough to bring you back. Nothing elaborate here, nothing fancy, nothing crazy. I literally just want you to check in during the day and see where your breath is at. See how you're feeling, and if your energy is feeling a bit crazy and all over the place, if you're doing too much, if that anxiety is kind of peaking, see what your breath is doing. That is your first protocol. That is the baseline, and it is often all you need to do. Now, the first couple of times that you start doing this, you might be like, okay, this isn't really doing much. She's crazy. This can't be it. But the more you do it, the more you check in, the more it becomes a thing in your day-to-day, the more that one simple thing is going to be most of what you need. So I really want you to give this a chance. And just, focus on your breath, check in on your breath, and notice how much more space you feel in your energy, in your body. Notice how your mind can clear just through that one simple thing. And what we're really doing is when we slow down our breath, we're slowing down everything. We're slowing down the way we're moving throughout our day. This doesn't mean we're going to get less done. This just means that we're coming in clearer and calmer, and we're not going to be like headless chickens going all over the place. We can kind of navigate a bit better and a bit slower and move with more fluidity. We're all talking about flow, and we can't be flowing if we're not even breathing properly. So we're starting to create these pockets of space within our energy, within our day, within our body, breathing, letting go, getting center, just clearing that energy and that fuzz that's going on. And this is what I want your daily practice to be. I don't want it, unless you really want it to be something that you have to add on to your day, something extra, something crazy, something you got to try and fit in. If you don't do it, then this is something that you're doing within your day anyway. This is not taking any extra time, maybe an extra few seconds, but actually those tiny shifts that can happen after just the proper breathing and calm breathing and centering back in, you're going to get that time back anyway. So this is a daily practice. Takes zero more time, and it is super duper effective. The next thing that I use, and it's another thing that fits in throughout your day, I'm going to call it moving meditation, because there are a couple of things that I like to call them meditation, because I think it really rephrases that word meditation and what we think of meditation as. But I really think that there's just other ways that we can do this. So for me, my moving meditation doesn't take up any more time in my day. It's basically switching the radio off while I'm driving. If you've got no kids in the car, if you've got one asleep, if you've got no one in the car, switch off the radio and focus on the road. This is especially effective if you're driving somewhere that you know off by heart. You know, sometimes when you get in the car and you're going to work, you're going somewhere, and you go into kind of autopilot mode, your mind can just wander and get distracted by the radio, and sometimes you can get caught up in the energy of the news and just turn it off. Not all the time. Listen to your amazing podcasts and things whenever you want them to, but sometimes you'll start to notice when you need that space, that silence. Turn the radio off and just drive. Take notice of how's your body feeling. You can do a little wiggle in your seat. How is your energy feeling? Do you need to take some more deep breaths? What is actually going on in your mind? Does that need to be there? Tell it to piss off. Really super duper simple things. I find that, and because I live in the country, everyone waves at everyone when they're driving, and a lot of the time I'm just completely in my own little space because I'm focusing on just purely what's in front of me, where I'm going, and in here, that I don't even notice who I'm driving past most of the time. It's not because I'm necessarily being rude, it's just because I'm like in that space, in that energy, and it totally changes when you get to somewhere too. If you are not like racing and you've got the radio on, you've got the news at you, and you've got all these things going on, and that's just not helping. So take notice of these things. How is that making you feel? How is that shifting your energy? How is that flowing on? Use silence. You can do this when you're cooking. Don't have the TV or anything on. Just focus, breathe, take note of what's going on in your mind, center yourself, doing the dishes, on a walk, you don't always have to have music on. You can just breathe in the fresh air and use that as your meditation practice. Your morning routine could simply be making a tea or coffee and sitting down for 5 minutes, staring at nothing while you drink it. Stare at the view if you've got a view, stare at something, but use that quiet time and just notice the shifts. The more you start listening and understanding when you need that space and how the simple things like your breath and that tiny bits of silence can cultivate more and more space within your energy field and within your body and within your mind, the more effective these things are going to be. And it just becomes a part of you. Because it doesn't require any extra time. Oh shit, I forgot to meditate this morning. Oh, I ran out of time. Oh, the kids got up too early. Whatever the thing is, there's always something going on. That's just life. If we can build these things into our day-to-day lives, we don't really need the rest of that stuff unless we want to really level up. But I'm talking about baseline level. This is what I do every single day. Well, actually, no, I probably miss a few days here and there, but that's the thing is that once you realize, oh, hang on, I've just been like in go, go, go mode. Once I stop and take a few breaths and create that space, I can shift that in no time now, like literally in no time. And it can be a day or two's worth of just shit going on. It gets quicker, it gets easier, and it gets more potent the more you do this and the more space you create. It's so much easier to step back into that more vastness within you because it's already there. It's not coming all the way back, tensing all the way back in. So, yeah, give your mind the space to wander. Notice what's coming up. Allow it to pass by. Take notice of the thoughts that are coming up. I often laugh at them now because I'm like, that's ridiculous, and then it's gone. So really give yourself the space to just acknowledge those thoughts and let them go on. The more that we're running around getting these things done. And for some people, literally running around day to day, and then your exercise time is also running, and you're consistently just running from these things going in your head, when all you need to do is to stop, breathe, let them come up and let them go. Instead of just push them down, try and keep going, they ain't going anywhere. Just create that space, let them come up and let them go. Sounds too easy, but it's not. And the more you do it, the more you will understand. So yeah, throughout your day, checking in with the breath, checking in with when you need that bit of extra space, cultivating that space within your day. You might even up the ante. You might feel like you need that extra kick, so you could run the bath, have that quiet time. Don't feel tempted to always have a book, have music, have the TV on. Like, yeah, they're amazing. We'll have the TV on every night, but I have created those tiny pockets of space within my day already to clear that. So if you're noticing that you always got music on in the background, if you've always got something else on, just try breaking it up for a bit and see how you feel. It's going to get easier and it's going to become second nature, and you're not even going to notice that you are doing these things anymore. At this point, I feel like you're probably wondering why the fuck are we paying you to tell us all these things? And really, they sound so ridiculous, but this is what I've come back to after years of playing around with all the different modalities and things. I've tried to make them all fit, and nothing sticks, because I truly believe that unless they like seriously set our soul on fire, they do not need to be a part of that every day. We need to drop that guilt. We need to drop those shoulds. We just this is actually how simple it can be, and I feel like I kind of feel like living proof of that. I know that I do receive a lot of comments from people like, how can you be so just calm and grounded about things? I can go into somewhere and not be like stressing and rushing and everything's gone wrong. But it's these little things that I've done and cultivated over time that kind of just make things feel like they flow a bit better for me. So yeah, I hope at this point you're not wanting a refund yet. Just stick it out and see how you feel, and when you're ready, move on to the next video. Thanks.